Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Bitcoin, and we're going to have a look at the Dixie as well. So two charts that we're very interested in at the moment for obvious reasons. So first of all, let's talk about the bullish, what we see about what's going on, which is bullish. So first, we've broken out of this descending channel, which is something we've been waiting for. The descending channel also represents a descending triangle. The main thing to focus on is that we're outside of the resistance. Doesn't mean we can't come down for a retest of that resistance, but if it does, we'll see what kind of reaction we get. I think the destination for Bitcoin currently is between 46,500 and maybe 45,600, which is basically where these wicks kind of lie around here. So without having to put tons and tons and tons of rubbish on the chart all the time, you just have to think about it in terms of these wicks, or in terms of the 21 exponential and the 21 simple. So it's been a nice little rally. You can see that from yesterday. Now yesterday's move, although we were looking at forming a bottom around here, which is something that we might have already done. So we were talking about this leading up to it. In fact, we've been talking about it for weeks since we broke down into the zone. So we came down into this area where I picked some more up. First buy since the sell before the drop, and so yeah, I mean on a chart basis it's looking pretty good, but let's remember to focus on the Dixie, so the dollar index. So we had the CPI report yesterday, inflation at 7% or thereabouts, and then everybody decided that the dollar is actually worthless again and it's just being sold straight off. So this, I was speaking about it yesterday on a video and on the live stream as well for the Patreon members yesterday, about how the fundamentals haven't changed on this dollar. The dollar's the same, the tapering is the same, the fundamentals are the same. And although that the uptrend has drastically come to an end, I mean, we were speaking about how it came to an end on a technical basis, but also how it's looking relatively droopy, but now it's dropping off as a result of the CPI report. There's no difference. There's nothing different in what created this rally in the first place. I mean, the technicals were one thing that helped, but also the tapering played a large component to that as well. And so just to reiterate, nothing's changed for the dollar, so we are expecting this to turn around anyway. But just like when Bitcoin broke down, the chart essentially breaks with it, and in order to trade a chart effectively, it needs to reset. So resetting for this chart now could mean a further drop down to the 200 exponential or thereabouts before it perks itself up and finds itself back in an uptrend. Let's face it, there will be another uptrend on this dollar. There's no two ways about it. To expect the dollar to break down completely from here and go back under the 93, which would be, well, I say it would be good for those who are trading, holding assets like crypto, commodities, and all that, but it would be bad for the state of the dollar and anybody who owns a dollar. Basically, it would be bad because being back into this zone is actually really bearish, and we would expect it to continue with its downtrend. Which, again, you've got to be careful what you wish for. I mean, I'm from the UK. I don't have dollars. I have pounds, and the pound is having the same kind of issues, but it's not obviously the dollar, but the dollar impacts everybody worldwide. It is the world's reserve currency, and if that starts to plummet, it's a problem for everyone. It is a problem for everyone. But it is designed to go down. I say that without sounding like some Bitcoin maximalist. I mean, it will always generally go down. That is the nature of it, I think. But in the short term, I am expecting this to get picked back up, but not an immediate V-shaped recovery. There's no reason for that. I think what we'll see is a similar event to what's happened when Bitcoin had its Black Swan event, all the way down, and then an accumulation, and then finding its rhythm, and then finding its way back up again. I think that's what's going to happen to the Dixie. So while it's down, anyway, we can have a little party, And I think that's what's going to happen. I think that the uptrend is likely to continue for Bitcoin, at least on the basing it on this 4-hourly and on the daily. I'm not looking for this to turn around and go straight to the moon or anything, but we are above most moving averages of significance on the 4-hourly. So the next destination is going to be the 200 exponential, and that is still downtrending. We can see that it's looking a little bit like this. So if we snake our way back up using the Bollinger Band Center and maybe the 10 exponential, which is kind of what's going on at the moment, we can creep our way back up up here over the next few days and maybe find a decent rejection around the 45,500 or maybe the 46,600 area. That's the kind of thing that I'm looking for, using this entire range as an accumulation range, which is what we've been expecting in the first place. If we break above there, which is all possible, we go up towards the top of the accumulation range, 49,500, and then again, it's just an accumulation range, until it decides to break out one way or another. I like drawing loop-the-loops, that. I don't know why, but we're not expecting that kind of price action, obviously. But you see where I'm coming from. So for the moment, dollar down, everything should have some kind of relief, which is what it is. And we were talking last night on the stream about how altcoins are looking good, but we have to accept that this could just be a bounce for the market. Bitcoin represents the bottom of a market, and if this is the bottom of the market, then altcoins are moving by default. Not all altcoins are created equal. That's one of my silly phrases, and it's true. So the market appeared to be bouncing as one, and when we were looking at the 4-hourly charts on all these altcoins, they were basically a carbon copy of each other, which is more or less what Bitcoin is. They were all coming up to the green 50 exponential on the 4-hourly. Some were below it getting rejected, some were just above it like Bitcoin is like now. And so the main thing to focus on is actually Bitcoin. Now there are obviously other ways to trade, and this is why we look at Satoshi pairings, and we're going to look at ICP in a minute, because this is again one of those other trades that we look at. I'll do that on a separate video. But the secrets are hidden within the sats. That's how we managed to get the XLM trade, how we got the VRA trade all recently, because we were looking at the Satoshi pairings, and I think that's the key here. So if you really want to make some decent trades, trade versing, or at least do your TA versus the BTC pairs. Otherwise, you might as well just trade Bitcoin, because the market is following Bitcoin. A lot of these coins all look like Bitcoin. There's no difference to it, and there's a reason for that. It's because Bitcoin is the one that's basically bouncing, and the market is being carried with it. So if you're just going to be blindly trading altcoins, that's fine, but remember, they're all following Bitcoin at the moment, and then some of them are going to be supercharged with their own charts, and the secrets are hidden within the sats. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there, but thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.